Hello. Did I do that all right? You're kind of laughing.
Better this week.
Better this week. At least I played the intro this week.
What the hell happened last week?
Oh, it was a whole ordeal.
Holy.
It was not an ordeal. It was...
that was not the smoothest of intros. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I'm terrified if that was like the smooth one. You know, like when AEW did that, like take 27 and then aired it?
Yeah. Well, that's my
That
charm.
kind of what that reminded me of. Well, it had a great charm on it.
It was rough last week, you know.
That
maybe we were up on screen unknowingly, and then Pluggo did
my charm. I might need a... But yeah, I might need a crash course. So what happens is, for some reason, when I play the intro, it gets choppy, and I try to time it out. Last week, I swore I clicked the intro or the intro music button, but I did not, I guess. And so it was just our faces for like 3 seconds until I realized that I should play the music.
Fair enough.
I'm really good. I'm really good at this podcasting thing. Like super talented.
This is why people have producers. I'm starting to realize why that's a thing now.
Yeah, we need to get who in the Love Wrestling sphere is up right now that wants to produce this show for us, right?
Even the people who are up don't want to produce the show for us.
Yeah, where's Lawrence?
Yeah, Lawrence, where you at?
Fucking Lawrence.
He'll pop in the chat eventually.
I need him to like figure out. Well, we have a guest. His name, you know this face. He's a handsome stud of a huge hog carrying member of the hog carrying community. It's Big Ben Ormans. Hi, Big Ben.
Hello, how are you guys?
I'm good. Better now that you're here.
Other than like the obvious little stutter of everything that's going on at the moment, you're doing good. That's great to see.
We're trying.
So I have a question for you very quickly before we get into everything, just because I've been meaning to ask you this, and now that I see it in my eye and we're talking here, now I have the opportunity to do this. How is Danhausen's coffee?
I don't know. I've never had it.
You had it on your fucking shelf. It's right there.
I bought it and
open the bag and try it.
I just take a scoop out.
Why not?
Right here on air, just coffee ground?
Well, what are you going to do? Save the bag just because it's like a collector's item? Save the empty bag, then drink the coffee.
It's like when people dry scoop pre-workout. So just
that's a weird thing to do. That's a weird flex. Like, I remember when Workhorse Fitness started, TJ sent me a bottle of the supplement, and then he signed the bottle, and then I'm like, and somebody said to me, they're like, oh, you should keep that the way it is because it'll be like the original bottle and it's got his autograph. I'm like, it'll still be the original bottle with his autograph on it when it's empty.
Yeah, well, that's true. Maybe I should. Maybe if we get to our 3,000 subscriber goal, I'll just gnaw on some coffee grounds. But speaking of coffee grounds,
there he is.
I was summoned. You said my name like Beetlejuice.
Yes. What's up, buddy?
The producer is here.
Pluggo's having a hard time playing a video. I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
Yes. He sent me a YouTube link, Lawrence, of his exclusive news, and I can't figure out how to put it on the screen. But you do this on the brunch gimmick all the time. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah. Give me a second.
Do you have? We need to send you the link.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was going to be in video clips. But we're not there because Zach.
No, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Do you want me to message you the link there, Lawrence?
Yeah.
We're off to Alex. Got it. Big Ben energy. That's right, baby.
Yeah. That is what that is. Now, great story about that. The man who gave me the name Big Venus, I went and saw last night at his comedy show, Ron Funches, because he was in town in Toronto, and I ended up getting first row with my girlfriend. The two of us went down, and it was cool because at one point in time he looked down and he noticed me, and because he knows who I am, and he just kind of whispered into, so he didn't like kind of go off track. He just looks down and just goes, "Penis," and then just gives me a wink, and then just keeps going on with his joke. I was like, what a awesome dude.
That is awesome. I just looked at this coffee. There's no expiration date on it, so we can open. I don't know when. I think I bought it last year.
That doesn't mean drink it in 10 years from now. That just still means drink it now.
Aged coffee's better, right? I don't know. I thought it was. I just thought it was. I'm always kind of attracted to like random merch, and I was just like, coffee. That's funny. Like, I'll buy that.
That's fair.
So I bought it.
That's fair.
And I shelved it, and then I was with a Keurig. I should have. If Danhausen comes out with the Danhausen coffee pods, I'll be smashing those things.
I'd love to try the Danhausen one, but I would also love to try the RJ one, just because RJ is my buddy, and well, so is Danhausen. But like RJ and I go back a long way, so I think that's pretty damn cool what RJ's doing right now. Just because like the man literally figured out a way to carve an entire path out for himself and make a good living off of pro wrestling without having to pro wrestle. I couldn't be happier for the guy.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah. He's not as sore, I can imagine.
Got it, Lawrence?
Oh yeah, I have it ready.
Do we want to do that now? Or are we
All
doing it right now? Big Ben, this is
Yeah,
your
let's do it.
moment. He's dropping exclusive news. I don't even know what it is. He didn't even spoil it for me, which I
None
tried.
of us know. So
Yeah.
this is an exclusive for all of us.
All I saw was a countdown.
All right. Let's do this. Big Ben with some exclusive uproar news. Oh. There we go. That looks all right. Yeah.
Yeah, we good?
Nine. All right.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, snap!
Oh shit!
Let's go! Yep.
Hell yeah!
Oh, are we
That's
past?
awesome.
Oh, heckin' A, fucking A. That's dope, yo.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Not a bad little business partner to have. So cheers to you guys on this beautiful Saturday. I just drunk it on my fucking MacBook. God damn it. That was
Cheers.
par for the course. Of course, my brand new
ran
MacBook,
Lawrence
I just spilled all over it.
Oh, don't do that. That's awesome, dude.
Tremendous.
Congratulations.
That is amazing.
Oh, look, we
That
got-
is huge.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
It's like
Power of
video.
social media is a crazy thing, man. It's crazy how this all kind of came about. It was literally just putting like so I don't know if you guys have tried this version of the Prime drink yet. It's called Glowberry. I'm a big fan of like apple drinks and just apple flavored anything. So I tried this out just out of the blue, and when I know that it was like, I could tell that it was like a green apple flavor, and it literally just like became my favorite drink. Like I drink this, I probably like 1 or 2 of these a day now, every time I can find them. So I just happened to post about it on my social media that I genuinely enjoyed the drink, and then
Wheels started moving. Logan Paul hit
Wow,
hit
man.
KSI.
So the Prime social media team shared the post, and then next thing I know, I just started getting an absurd amount of messages. Like my Instagram DMs blew up just from like random people around the world, like random people around Canada, like asking me where to get this stuff. And I was just like, man, this is insane what kind of reach they genuinely have. Attaboy, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, good sir. Maybe I shouldn't do this because I just fucked my MacBook up already. But yeah, so they they reposted, they reshared, and next thing you know, I'm just getting a bunch of messages, and then one of the messages was from the Canadian distributor of the product, and he's like, looked me up and looked into what I do just because he saw the Canadian thing on there, and so he knew that I was from Canada. And next thing you know, the ball just started rolling, man. And now Crossbody Pro Wrestling and Crossbody Studios is now an official retailer of both the hydration and the energy drinks, and
Hell
it's a place where you can come and buy them. And now we have like a place, we have something for our live audience to be able to purchase for, and the boys, you know what I mean, which is nice. Like we all now have something within house, because like if you know anything about our little studio, like we're in a church, we're a room within a church, so we try to have snacks as best as possible. But now we actually have like, you know, a prime refrigerator in our I'll actually show you guys a quick picture, which is just absurd, but
that is badass. Congratulations, dude. While you look up that picture,
that is massive. I mean, especially in this day and age, to be able to have that partnership with a company with the reach that Prime does have, especially in independent wrestling. I mean, that is massive, and you guys are going to be, hopefully opening doors for a lot of other people with something like this. Exactly.
Like the potential on this is crazy, because again, like the amount of potential doors this could open, not just for me, but for independent wrestling as a whole. Because I'm not that selfish asshole where I'm just like, I'm the first guy that got Prime, I'm gonna keep them all to myself. My precious. No, this is something that I've already spoke to them about, as a matter of fact. It's just like my plan is to, like I'm able to spread the wealth if I would like to, is what it was said to me, because this is a market that Prime believes in, like Logan Paul is, and this is weird for me to come on here and like defend Logan Paul for anything, but the reality is like he got into professional wrestling. He clearly loves the business, and the fact that his social media team and here's the other thing too, like the distributor was telling me how difficult it is for that social media team to like replug anything. He's like, they never really like he almost said that they were like a bad social media team just for like how little they actually engage. Their social media team has been messaging me every day. Like they knew that I was going to the ring on IWS with a Prime bottle in my hand, and they were all for it. And that was something that I asked them about, and they were like, yeah, that's cool.
Is that why you did that, huh?
I'm a hint dropper, dude. Like I do things so obvious in front of people's face sometimes, and nobody ever gets it. And it's kind of the joy that it's like a joy of becoming a pro wrestling creator and like a storyteller and stuff like that. Like there have been so many situations, and there's some even out there right now where like if you were to look at anything that I'm doing, and you kind of just have like just if you like piecing puzzles together, there's some out there right now that are so obvious out there that are like literally slapping people in the face that nobody has caught on to yet, which is, I love this kind of stuff, and I'll be happy to talk about that once that one's over. But this, I've been dropping little hints, for quite a while now, just because this is something that's been in the work for the last couple of weeks, pretty much since that whole thing started. I was very cautious that I didn't want to say a word to anybody about this other than like a very few specific people until like the commercial was done, the paperwork was signed, and the product was in my facility. And that's a photo of me and my girlfriend right beside the entrance with the Prime fridge that's fully stocked with all of the hydration and energy needs at the moment. And this, like I said, this could open a lot of doors for who knows. Like this could be literally nothing. This could be a potential gateway to something crazy. But the reality is it's a pretty damn cool business partner to have at this stage in the game, and especially not just for myself personally, but for indie wrestling as a whole, because what that does is, in my opinion, I think that kind of makes everything up for grabs, because they shouldn't have been accessible to us. You know what I mean? But here we are.
No,
I've never had a Prime drink before, so now after I leave today to go see my dad, I'll have to pick one up just to try this. I know I got to support now.
They are good.
So I do highly recommend the Glowberry one. It's my favorite hydration drink. Underneath it, I really love the lemon lime one, especially the energy drink. So always remember one thing too: hydration, bottle, energy, can.
Okay.
People get this shit mixed up, and it's hilarious because sometimes they'll see you drinking this, and they're like, "Oh, you're getting the energy drink in you." It's like, when the hell have you ever seen an energy drink in a bottle before?
Yeah.
I will say that their line of energy drinks is one of the, and I'm not just touting it because you're on. I like their energy drinks line a lot. I like the hydrations too, but I am a caffeine junkie. I have to have my caffeine to function, and those hit the
My
spot.
girlfriend loves the strawberry watermelon and the ice pop flavored stuff. She loves that stuff. So to be honest with you, it's a little bit for everybody, man. Because like, to be honest, the blue raz. If you put a blue raz anything in front of me, can't do it. Prime included. I'm just being honest with you. But some people love blue raz. Like Aiden Prince loves blue raspberry stuff. So like he drinks that stuff like it's like water. So it's whatever, you know. It's there's something there for everybody.
So you're on a bit of a high, dude. You got the Prime deal going. 7th anniversary shows coming up. Ortiz is coming in.
Yeah,
Upward's just on fire. How's it feel? Like you kind of touched on it when I interviewed you a few months back, but how does that just feel right now? To just everything seems to be clicking on all cylinders for you.
Well, you know, I appreciate you saying that, but I just that's not something that I believe. I think that we can always be firing on more cylinders because, you know, until shows are sold out every single show, until like numbers are increasing and all that stuff, like there's always going to be work to do. And that's my mentality. I'm not a guy that gets satisfied with things. I can be happy with things, but I'm never fully satisfied. And I think that that's, you know, a key to any successful person in any business. But I'm super stoked with where we're at right now. I think that we're in a pretty cool spot. If you follow Uproar and like you watched season 1 and you're starting to get into season 2, if for the people that pay attention, there are real treats in there. Like there are real like hidden stuff where it's almost nice to see the comment section for the first few episodes of this season where people are starting to see like, oh, relationships are going weird and like stories are developing like really layered and stuff. And it's like, now we can get to those layered stories because now we have a past for the show, you know? So for me, it gets incredibly fun creatively. So we're in a really good spot right now, and I think that we have a really great talent roster to tell these stories. Like the group of young guys are in our area right now that are coming up are very talented. Some of them are very hardworking. The ones that I use, I believe, are probably the best overall, like well-rounded performer / humans that you're going to find within our area. And that's not to say anything negative about the other ones. I just genuinely believe that we're raising some really good, solid performers out of there. And, you know, there's going to be some really excellent wrestlers that come out of that system over the next year or two, like Dynasty, for example. Like you guys are very familiar with them in IWS. And, you know, those kids are all still very new, you know. Sway is still, you know, he's been in this for a little while, but like to try to work at the level that he's at, like he's a baby boy, you know what I mean? And we're like, whatever I can do to help those guys, because like, not only do I care about them, but they're also my travel partners. So it's like, I want to make sure that my car doesn't suck, you know? I want to go out there and show the hell out. So, I'm genuinely happy with, you know, what we have going on right now and the future of everything that we have going on right now, just because, again, there are plans in place for next weekend's huge show, our 7th anniversary show, which is actually our legitimate 7th anniversary show. Like our first show was on October the 1st, whatever the hell year it was, 7 years ago.
Lawrence, math.
You know, it's kind of
2016.
Yeah. Thanks, Bubba. Yeah, that is right, actually, because we started the
math. Now I've got to leave. Goodbye.
Yeah, okay.
This wasn't all pre-planned.
That's fair.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Lawrence.
Bye,
you,
Lawrence.
love you
Love you.
guys.
Thank you for your help, buddy. Lawrence coming in clutch for us. That was awesome.
What a good brother, eh? Lawrence is the best.
Mm-hmm.
That just now says to me, I need to learn how to do that. To share screen.
Well, see, I didn't know how to do that. That's why I haven't gotten the StreamYard membership yet, just because I haven't figured that out. So I got to have a little private chat with him and learn this stuff. But yeah, man, our 7-year anniversary show that we got coming up next Sunday is absolutely gigantic, just because one thing that I'm a big believer in, maybe it's because I'm a wrestler and a promoter, but wrestler first, is I've like to take care of the guys who take care of me. So there's been times where I've gone to like my talent that like my top talent that have like been with us from the very beginning, who have put the most work in, and I'll pull them aside and just say like, hey, out of curiosity, if I can ever get you a dream match, I don't know, who would you want to wrestle? And I asked Fuerza that about a year ago, and he had told me that Ortiz was the guy that he wanted. So I reached out to him a year ago, and it was just something that we couldn't work out from a business perspective, because again, like I'm a very, very small business. I can only sell 100 tickets to my show. You know what I mean? So it limits the amount that I can spend on a show just because 100 tickets. Yep. So, you know, we separate for a while, and then I was maybe a couple of months ago, maybe like 2 months ago, I'm just sitting at home on a random Sunday, and I got an email, and it was from Ortiz, and he was just like, well, what do we got to do to make this work? And I was like, you tell me. So next thing we know, I think it was maybe 10 minutes of chatting back and forth through email, which would have been an entire minute of actual talking. Bing, bang, boom. Flights paid for. All right, let's make this happen. We got the approval from the office. Cool. Let's do this. Here's the date. Let's go. So that's what people don't necessarily know yet, or at least I don't believe that I've told that story, is that this is why I'm so geeked for this match. It's not because it's an AEW guy versus Fuerza, because the reality is that's a pretty cool way to sell a match anyway. If you didn't know them, like that's pretty damn cool. When you realize that it's Ortiz and Fuerza, you realize, wow, that is two really, really like talented wrestlers. And at the same time too, there's also that like Latino pride, you know what I mean? Like that you just know is going to be a thing. So when you have that in the back of your head, and now you know that this is a match that both of them have wanted, and this is something that how the hell is this match going to suck? You know what I mean? Right. And how do I, even as a promoter, go up to them and tell them what to do? I'm just going to be honest with you folks. I don't know. I have no clue what we're doing with this. All I know is that I will walk up to the two of them and say, enjoy. Let me know what button I got to push at the end of the night.
Oh, hell
That's
yeah.
it.
And we got the boss in the house saying, hey, guys. Hi, Spencer.
Hi, Spencer.
Or if
yeah, if it is Spencer. If it is Spencer, we still need to get together and chat this weekend, because we've tried to get this going, and our schedules are not compatible, man.
No, schedules are tough, man. That's the one thing I've learned in this business, is scheduling is hard.
Yes, we were talking about that off air, just how difficult it can be.
It's tough, man, just because, you know, there's no such thing as just having one job anymore. Like, you know, when our parents were like, when we were growing up, and it's just like parents would go to work, they'd come home, and then, you know, you'd have a life. That doesn't exist anymore. Like everybody has 2 to 3 jobs and about 2 to 3 side hustles. There's no time anymore. There's no such thing as free time. So you just, it's something that you kind of have to make. Because even this,
they're all in sports, man. Oh, I don't get home until God knows when at this point.
Like, this is work, you know, like this is you're trying to accomplish something. Like there's an end goal to this. Like it's not just a Twitch show just for fun, or a YouTube show just for fun. There is an end goal to this. Like you guys want to be on a different level of doing this somewhere. So in order to do so, it's just like wrestling. You got to put your reps in. You got to make sure that you're as consistent as possible, and you got to make sure that you're reliable, because the unfortunate thing is reliability, trust, and all of those other things take fucking years to build and about a day and a half to destroy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's like some of the best advice I ever got when I started this podcasting thing, was like, you know, if you're going to be there Thursday at 8:00, be there Thursday at 8:00. Sure. Mm-hmm. Things come up in life where maybe you can't do a show here and there, but if you start like bouncing your show around, you know, people won't come. But if they know Thursday at 8, that's where you're going to be, then that's where, you know, people will go to. So the reliability factor is important for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, that's why it's been like, I was really, really enjoying streaming on Twitch during the pandemic, and it became one of the reasons why I fell back in love with wrestling. if anybody knows that story, but it's just I don't have time. Like at this point, I don't have time because even as little as a few months ago, I had a business partner with the gym where, like I still do, but the Crossbody Studios used to be like myself and the Notorious TID, but now it's just me. Like he retired and like, you know, he's doing really, really well in the podcasting world and has actually a really cool announcement. Like he's been waiting to drop for the last few weeks, but they're just waiting on sort of what I was waiting on to drop the Prime thing. But like I think that's a story that I told you, Pluggo, to kind of give you a bit of a words of encouragement yesterday. So you kind of already know, but the thing is though, is like, you just got to keep putting in like the time for that sort of stuff, right? Like it pays off eventually. And that's why I'm super stoked for you guys that you actually do stay consistent with this stuff, just because again, like the second that you take that one time off and it goes all downhill from there. And like, I'm at the point now with my scheduling that it sucks that I can't even find free time to just watch like an hour of wrestling with people because I can't commit to an hour anymore just because there's, you know, running Uproar is a 24/7 job. Like I was explaining this to somebody yesterday, actually, because I had a wrestler ask me this morning. There was like, "Hey, do you know what what everybody's doing next Friday for the Uproar tapings?" I'm like, nope. And he's like, "Well, why not?" I'm like, "Because it doesn't come to me. So when the creative comes to me, that's when I write. Yeah. I don't sit there and just like block off an hour a week to just sit and write and just come up with shit. Right. That's not how that's not how things come out of like, you know, organically. My whole purpose and being of telling a story is I want people to connect and I want them to feel. So I need it to come to me naturally. And if it doesn't come to me naturally, then I'll sit down and I'll try and force something. But you know, like I'm a pretty good solid gauge so far, knock on wood, that we've got some pretty cool stories that we do tell. It's just sometimes I don't necessarily, it's like GM mode on SmackDown. It's like, you know how sometimes you have like, I'm going to get to the pay-per-view and this is the match I'm going to build for the next 4 weeks on Raw. But then next thing you know, the person that you're playing against like takes your stars away for a show, or like they limit how much money you can spend. That's booking, baby. That's real life.
I hate when that happens. I get so pissed. I'm like, screw you, Stephanie. Give me back my money.
Right? It's the worst, but that really is booking Uproar in a nutshell.
Or I've noticed they all get injured all the time. Like it's a pain in the ass. I get like 4 or 5 of my talents just injured, and I'm like, how do I book a show with
So I'll give you a small little tidbit before we kind of, if we could go back into talking about the anniversary show, if that's cool.
Yes.
But the first season of Uproar, I wrote 6 months of television. I took like an entire weekend where I literally forced myself to just be in front of my laptop and I wrote the entire season out. I'm pumped about this, right? I'm like, oh boy, like this is going to make my life so easy. It's just like I get to taping 1 and had to tear the entire 6 months up because this person didn't show up. This person doesn't want to do this. This person, blah, 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 blah. They can't be here this week and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, lesson learned. Okay. So it's like, have an idea of where we're going, but prepare for the worst on every single trip that we take.
That's smart.
Yeah. You definitely have to be flexible with things like this, or else it's just not going to work out for you.
Absolutely, but I mean, at the same time, too, like I get it. You know, Uproar is it's a show for, if people understand what Uproar actually is, they should be taking advantage of it every single time, because like this is an opportunity to grow from a television wrestling perspective and actually tell real stories and be able to actually put some of your own creativity into certain things too, right? But at the same time, in a manner where it's structured and this is what it's supposed to be. Like I have the actual TV training in this stuff. So, you know, like it's not any different than what you would do if you were to go to like Impact or even WWE stuff. Like it's all filmed and processed and programmed very similar. So, you know, But at the same time, too, people look at it sometimes and they're like, it's gas money. So why would I go down and wreck my body for gas money? Because I'm worth this much. Because everybody, if I go on Twitter and I look at Taz and he's saying, you shouldn't work for fee, brother. And it's just like, okay, cool. Then don't, like, and I'm not saying work for free, but at the same time, too, it's just like, if you are this many years in the business and you can't process even just working for cheap, like look at the crowds. Like we sell like maybe 30 tickets and we only charge $10 a ticket. That money just gets spread out to the performers and everybody, and we usually have about 25 performers. Do the math, you know what I mean? It's not like the company's making it. I haven't made $1 off the thing. My joy in this whole thing is that I just want to see Canadian wrestling. I want to see my students. I want to see just wrestlers as a whole get this, because I understand that I'm at the age now where it's not going to be me on television, but I also understand that I'm of the age where I can still show the younger generation and work with them and get them ready to be in that position, both behind the scenes and in the ring. So I want to take advantage of what I have and give it back to the business because of what the business has given to me.
What I really like is that, like a lot of the wrestlers, they're able to, work other shows, you get the reps, in wrestling, but at Uproar, like, okay, it's being filmed. So you might have to think about things a little bit differently. You're going to be getting a different experience because you got to know where that camera is. You got to be aware of what's going on. So at least this is helping you grow in ways that, just working a regular show might not be able to. It's adding that extra level experience with it all.
1000%, because here's another thing to take into consideration too. It's the same live crowd, so you can't just do the same match over and over again, or they're going to pick it apart. They'll know what you're doing. So not only does it force you to be creative as a performer, but it forces you just to have to like think about that stuff and think long term as opposed to what you're doing. So then that way you can consider, what am I doing in this match? How do I set up like the next? How do I set 4 matches from now? Like there's. But that's the beauty part, is knowing where you're going and what the idea is. Because with most independent companies, like they only, it's once every 6 weeks. Yeah. Who in the absolute flying fuck in any of those audiences is remembering what happened on a 6 week to 6 week basis when we can't even remember what the hell happened last week on Collision or Raw?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's just too much stuff. And it's not to the fault of it's not the fault of the promoters. It's not the fault of the performers. It's not the fault of, it's our own goddamn fault because our attention span went to shit. That's just what happened. So you can't just like rely on that. So trying to tell stories in that regards is pointless. It's useless. Nobody remembers it. So having the ability to have a week-to-week platform where not only can people see it on a week-to-week basis, but go back and watch it on a week-to-week basis just to kind of get caught up if you haven't figured it out, you know what I mean? That's there. It's literally there for growth. So I'm not going to drop names, but I can tell you that one of the most prolific, he is a Hall of Famer. Shit. One of the most like prolific wrestlers of our era, who's a Hall of Famer, in the WWE, was watching every single episode of Uproar season 1. And I was getting like side notes just because he's a friend of a friend. So when you got people like that are paying attention to that stuff, it's just like, you don't know who's watching. Like when you look and you see like 500 views here, 1,000 views here, 1,500 views here, to the average person, they might be like, whatever. It's only a couple hundred views or whatever. I like to think of stuff like that when I know who's watching. Like, I don't know if you are familiar with this story, but Jay-Z likes to go on YouTube and just watch rap videos that have 100 views or less. Just because he wants to know what the underground thing is. Yeah, like a lot of the bigger name guys do that apparently, where like they'll scavenge YouTube for different rappers to see what views have 100 thing or less. So then that way they can get inspired or actually take from people. And so then that way that nobody's going to do anything about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time too, they might also discover a talent that nobody else has their eyes on. So there's a whole lot of room for potential like win-win just by doing that. So that is a thing where people will go and do that. So sometimes it's not the number of eyes, it's the quality of eyes, but I'm trying to obtain both, you know?
Right. Oh yeah, no, that's the way to do it, man. That's how you find new things. Got to search it out.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
my
trying.
goodness. Well, my friend, you said you had 30 for us or 35 in. I know you're a busy guy. You got places to be, things to do, primes to drink now. That's awesome, by the way. I'm stoked for you. Why don't you plug all of your awesome stuff and tell everybody what you got coming up once again, and we'll let you get on your way. Dude, this was awesome.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for allowing me to do this, just because I'm trying to promote this 7-year anniversary show as much as possible, because it will be going up on YouTube the same way as all of our premium events do, usually about 2 weeks afterwards. So we've got some of the biggest, obviously the biggest match in crossbody pro wrestling history happening on October 1st, or Tease versus Gabriel Fuerza in a match that both of them want so freaking bad. So that makes me excited. We've got the debut of Kevin Blackwood next Sunday, taking on Tyler Thomas and Brother Earth. If you don't know who Tyler Thomas and Brother Earth are, you need to fucking know who Tyler Thomas and Brother Earth are. Tyler Thomas, unfortunately, had a concussion problem a few years ago, so it kind of stopped him in his tracks. But had that not happened, and had he not kind of gotten into the real life gig that he is in now, that dude would be on our fucking television every week wrestling Seth Rollins for the world title. I'm not exaggerating. Tyler Thomas is probably one of the most gifted, natural, just best pro wrestlers that can just hop off the couch and just be better than all of us. The dude is fucking absurd. Brother Earth is like on his way up. He's so good at this. He's been busting his ass. He's got a great gimmick, a great character. He works so freaking hard. The three of those guys together, their styles are going to be a very, very well. Styles make matches, right? Yeah. So this makes me very, very excited, just because, again, Blackwood's a bit of a jack of all trades. Like, he's a great wrestler. He's an excellent striker, which for me, I love that stuff. Tyler is just an excellent, well-rounded performer all over the place. Brother Earth is an absolutely excellent high flyer. He's a rope runner, if you're familiar with that. Like, he's just an absurd high flyer that we have to like bring back to earth sometimes, because no pun intended, but he just like whatever he wants to jump off shit. Like, he's that crazy dude. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a lot of fun, that match. We got the women's championship in a 3-way as well, where we've got champion Crystal Moon taking on Alexia Nicole against Haley Dillon. There's only been 2 women's champion in crossbody pro wrestling history. It's literally only switched hands one time, and Alexia Nicole was the first champion for almost 2.5 years, and Crystal Moon has been the champion for the last 1.5 years. So when you talk about a title that has literally meant probably the most in our company, it's just like, that's the one. So it's cool to have both of those girls back for our anniversary show. It's very awesome to have new talent like Haley Dillon coming in to perform for us as well, just because, you know, we got a dark horse in that match, which is, you know, it's always good to have. We got the internet title being defended, where Matthew Grant, our champion, is taking on Justin Newhook from the Maritimes, which is nice. So then that way we've got more of a Canadian flavor to our anniversary show as well. Myself and HHV will be going one-on-one against one another. With this, he said he wants to have his last match, and he wants it to be against me, just because we literally started together. I was there for his first day of training. And so obviously he wants to get his Jericho Lance Storm moment. So, you know, who am I to not oblige? And the cool thing is that we were the first ever singles match in crossbody pro wrestling history that happened on October 1st. So it's a neat little tie back that we're doing it 7 years later to the day to finish his career for him. And last night we just announced that the crossbody heavyweight title will be on the line, where champion Pretty Ricky Wilde will be defending it against the grinder Mark Shaw, which is going to be an excellent match, because Mark Shaw's been on an absolute tear on Uproar lately, and Ricky's been nowhere to be seen this season yet. So going to be interesting just to see where the both of them are at. But we're going to be dropping some more match announcements later on today. Obviously, we got to get this first big announcement out of the way, and I can't thank you guys enough for the platform to be able to drop that. But good things are happening right now. So please go give us a follow at CBPW Academy on all of our socials, on Instagram and on Twitter. That's where you're going to find all of our cool things that we got going on. YouTube.com/Crossbody Pro Wrestling Academy. It's a long URL. It's all one word, but go there, subscribe. We are on there every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our weekly uproars. And lastly, I want to put over Pluggo's hog because it is.
Thank you.
I just want to say before you take off, I am so excited for that women's match because the rivalry between Crystal Moon and Alexia Nicole has been fantastic. And then you're adding in, Haley Dillon, another, she's on the up and up. So like there's so many wheels in motion here. I cannot wait for that match.
That feud has been literally years. I believe it's been close to 5 years going on, that feud. And I can watch those two girls wrestle every day. Like they keep it fresh. Like they are meant for one another from an opponent perspective. So again, you add in that third spice, man. I'm excited for this. I think every single match on our show next Sunday has the ability to steal the show. That is an excellent problem to have.
Yes.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you very much for everything.
The door
boys.
is always open,
Definitely.
as always. You and your massive hog, my friend. You're the king of the massive hogs.
Oh shucks.
But go check him out. Drink Prime.
Yes.
Big Ben rules. We need to get some Prime on this show. So Prime, if
It's
you're watching,
good.
we'll take some too to the moon. It is good. It is very good. But Big Ben, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, brother. You need anything, just let us know.
Love you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day.
Take care, Ben.
That was Big Ben Ortmans of Crossbody Pro. Oh my God. That guy has got some big things coming up. Watch CBPW. Besides his hog. What a stud. So glad he could join us. So he dropped an exclusive. That's the first exclusive. We're dropping scoops, baby.
That is
Scoops.
A massive scoop too. That's huge.
Awesome. That's a big deal. Big time for them. I'm so stoked for them. I'm so stoked for him and all his success. So yeah. Not our normal start to the show, but that's all right. It was a definitely great change of pace. So where do you want to...
It was well worth the, changing things up a little bit. So
yeah. And full disclosure, I know that people say like, oh, hey, Sexy Pachico and Big FMP. What's up, affiliate? Yeah, I almost forgot about those awesome names. Sexy Pachico.
Just wait till I do the outro today. I got a good one for you.
Ooh, but I was gonna say, what was I saying? Now that I'm distracted by the Big Sexy P and F, that Big Sexy P. I'm confusing all the names.
Big Sexy P.
Big Sexy P and Big F and Pachico. I don't know what I was saying now. I don't even remember.
Well, I mean, yeah, a little change of pace today. So we'll have to juggle things around a little bit so we get our heart out at the top of the hour. So
but a very welcome change of pace. It's nice to have Ben on. Oh yeah, I was saying like no full shoot. Like I had no idea. He wouldn't even tell me. I asked him. I was like, hey, why don't you drop me the video so I could get it uploaded? And he's like, no, we're doing it on the show. I'm not telling anybody. So I legit like he dropped that Prime exclusive here, and I'm like so stoked for them. That is badass.
So here's what I'm thinking for the next 16 minutes. We're gonna do some tidbits. We are going to give a banger alert of the week because I'm sure we watched some good ones, and then we will preview as many shows as we can in the time remaining.
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay. So I will drop some tidbits. I will give you that joy and fun, and we'll carry on our wayward sons. Okay. Okay.
Carry on. Sorry.
Okay. First tidbit. Dreamwave.
I'm sorry. Okay, go on. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
It's a banger of a song.
It is. Dreamwave Wrestling in Illinois. They are doing an all-women show in December 8th. So if you like, names are going to be announced leading up to it, but Masha Slamovich will be there, so that's huge. And I mean, the fact that we're getting more of these all-women shows is a big deal. It's a massive deal. NEW and Femme Fatales, they have one coming up out in BC in 2 weeks' time, I think it is. They just dropped all the matches. So, I mean, we'll preview that a little bit closer too, because a lot of our favorites are going to be competing on that show.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that bad boy. PCW Ultra. They are going to be running a show at the world famous Rose Bowl coming up October 7th. It looks like. Is that right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
October
I saw
7th.
that.
Yeah, so that's
couple
massive.
weeks.
Yeah, that's big
That's
news.
huge, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a tasty little
Rose
one.
Bowl, the Rose Bowl is huge. That's where like USC and them play. So that's a big deal.
So Tokyo Joshi Pro, I mean, not really an independent, but they've got a show coming up. Nyla Rose from AEW is going to be there, and Max the Impaler. So
very cool.
They do some independents. So that's a nice little one there. Minoru Suzuki is going to be working House of Glory October 13th. So that's usually up on Fight Plus. And stay tuned to your local indies, because Devon Dudley is making a return to wrestling. So I can only imagine that the Dudley boys will be doing a plethora of independent shows.
I saw that on Impact 1000. He came back and wrestled. I know he wasn't cleared for a long time, so good for him to be cleared. I mean, let's see what happens. That could be a fun little run on the indies.
Yeah,
if they want to do it.
I'm sure they will be doing some shows, because there is a lot of potential fun matchups with that. So,
yes,
and that
tasty tidbits. Tasty tidbits.
Now, how about a banger alert of the week? You ready for that?
Yeah,
because I know what mine's going to be. You got yours?
Oh, yeah, I got mine. What do you got?
Yeah, you ready for the 4 exposure banger alert
of the week? Woo, woo, woo.
Of the week. We'll work on that.
We did really good last week. I need to just clip those until we could just play them.
Well, I think what we need is like a theme song, like with a little video, and it'll be like the 4 exposure banger alert. Wee of the week.
And then we got like, dude, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. We got ideas.
So mine is from the GCW show that I was watching yesterday, the Germany one.
Okay.
Gringo Loco and Leon Slater.
Yeah.
Those just slapped.
Well, now I can't pick that one. No.
Well, I didn't think you were going to. I thought you had your eyes set on a different one.
I do have my eyes set on a different one, but that match was awesome. Gringo Loco, and I didn't realize this. Leon Slater's only 18.
Mm-hmm.
When he said it on commentary yesterday, I was like, holy, the dude wrestles. Like, I know we say that about Jared Rogers a lot, the wily veteran. Leon Slater wrestles like a wily veteran in the game. The dude feels like he should be in the prime of his career. He's only 18. Holy crap.
It was going to be the Jordan Oliver, the rotation match, but the video clips, or they're not the video clips, but like the video dropped out so much that I feel like
I was gonna ask you about that, if you had a lot of issues with that too.
I did. So
I'll take for my banger alert of the week. I was gonna do a different Jordan Oliver match. I was gonna go back to last weekend, that GCW show, when he did the one called Gareese.
Oh yeah,
Gareese. I don't know, man like Gareese or something like that. I don't want to butcher the guy's name. It was just Gareese, but I had a lot of fun with that match. Mm-hmm. And then like Jordan Oliver coming out and giving him his props and stuff. Like that guy's got something. I want to see that too. And he even said like he wants to see Gareese and Slater versus East West Express. So Jordan Oliver's trying to keep booking the East West Express, and Tony Khan's probably like, quit, dude. I'm trying to get Nick Wayne off of these indie shows.
Like Slater is going to be on some banger indie shows in North America, and I can't wait, because the kid is going to be massive. So Ray hit the nail on the head right there.
If he comes anywhere near my city, I'm going to go, because I want to see it live.
To.
Oh yeah,
you have to. So. Yeah. You want to talk Prestige first, and then we'll see what we can do?
Yeah, we try to bang out these previews.
Okay, Prestige, the Respect issue, September 24th. So that is tomorrow.
Yep.
For the first time ever, we are seeing Speedball Mike Bailey versus Breeze. So the wrestler formerly known as Tyler Breeze.
Remember, I said on Twitter we need to get a Smolder alert.
Because we do. It's going to be Smolder. Then I was waiting for you to do alert.
Oh, okay. Go again.
Smolder.
Alert. There's just so much hotness in that match. Breeze,
really
Speedball,
is.
just so much sex appeal. I don't even know if I could pay attention.
It's the one that like I didn't realize was this weekend.
And wasn't that, by the way, wasn't Speedball, wasn't the Breeze because somebody dropped out and they I could have swore I saw that was like they had to make that match happen.
Wasn't it supposed to be Sean Spears?
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be Spears and Breeze in this too, but I thought some Spears could do it or injury or something. So they're just like, here, have Speedball Mike Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. This next one, like I didn't realize it was going to be this weekend, and now that it is, I'm so hyped for it. Lee Moriarty versus Jonathan Gresham.
Oh man, that is a
banger alert.
Woo, woo, woo. That is like the epitome of the reason we came up with banger alert.
Yeah,
that match is gonna rule.
Shoko Nakajima versus Trish Adora. Love Trish Adora.
Yep.
That's gonna be good. Ray Horace versus Titus Alexander.
That's gonna be good. Horace is
yeah.
Titus Alexander rules. Yep.
This next one is gonna slap. Filthy Tom Lawler versus Vinny Massaro.
Yes, your best friend Tom Lawler.
Yep. My other best friend Tom Lawler. You know, will never live down that awkwardness. But yeah, he's
no. If I just play it up, man.
Yeah. Right. Diego Hill versus Alan Angels versus Jordan Cruz versus the professional Travis Williams.
Oh, fun. That's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. We got Shazza McKenzie versus Johnny Robbie. Galeno Del Mal versus Dynastia. And Sonico versus Gregory Sharp. So good old G Sharp.
Nice.
So there's some solid matchups.
We'll probably pick that card.
Yeah, we will. We got some time. We'll do that.
Yeah, I dropped the ball this week on. But by the way, shout out to New Texas Pro. They had a banger on Thursday. We made picks. I made the graphic, and my day got so crazy I forgot to post it.
Did you just not post them because I just cleaned the floor with you again?
That could be. But they had Warhorse. But they had Warhorse versus Brian Keith. I need to circle back and make sure I watch that because you know that ruled. But I need some shout out to New Texas Pro.
So that will be up on IWTV. Prestige runs there, if I'm not mistaken. So that is Sunday.
A little Sunday night action. Love it.
And then tonight, DEFY is running The Last King out in Washington. So they've got 6 matches announced so far. All of them look like they are going to be massive. So we are going to kick things off with Artemis Spencer versus Starboy Charlie.
Nice.
Artemis just finished up his little excursion down to Mexico, got to wrestle Ricky Marvin down there, did some training. Galeno Del Mal versus Miles DeVille. So Miles, one of the top ones out in Pacific Northwest.
Didn't Starboy just wrestle in Germany? Didn't I just see him, or was that last weekend? He was in the UK. Is he back?
Maybe last week.
Okay, yeah. Back. Yeah, he didn't. Oh, yeah, it was last weekend he wrestled in UK. Good.
Bambi Hall versus Amira. We got Casey Navarro versus Cody Chun.
Oh, I like that.
And now this one is going to be something special. We've got a Sovereign versus Spice. So Spice is consisting of Curryman. I always have trouble with the name. Guillermo Rosas and the Bollywood Boys versus Sovereign. Christopher Daniels, Evan Rivers, Judas Icarus, and Travis Williams.
Oh, God, what a team.
I know.
Jesus. I feel bad for Spice.
Plus, we're going to see Christopher Daniels face off with Curry, man. Like, that is legendary right there.
Yes. Oh, God. And that's going to be... They run these on their website a few weeks after. Or they're
still the main event, buddy.
There's
still one more.
That's to me. You could have stopped there, and I'd be like, sold me a ticket. But go on.
We are getting Rocky Romero challenging for the New Japan World Strong Openweight Championship against Eddie Kingston.
I'm sorry. Put some respect on the champ's name. Also, ROH World Champion Eddie Kingston, baby. Hopes that Sonico gets beat and Galeno brings the big boy Lucha to the West. Okay.
Yeah. He's
That
a
cheat.
solid dude. So
Oh my, that's gonna be a banger too. Eddie Kingston, new ROH champ.
yeah. So
Openweight,
I mean,
let's
yeah,
go.
those shows go up on Remix. They're usually up by Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. They
Yeah.
usually do like a special drop. They announce it and all that, so you have to watch for that because I know
Well,
what
we
I'm going
will.
to be watching today.
Yeah.
Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, because
I was gonna
Thursday
say-
night I'll be watching LPW versus the Clandestine Society.
Oh, that's right, because
So-
you're gonna be there. I was gonna say, don't you think you'd rather watch Between Two Beards, your best
I'll be
friend's
wa-
other show?
I would. I will have to catch the replay because I'm not going to watch Between Two Beards while I'm watching the wrestlings. That's
You
rude
could-
to both of you.
You could just hop in the stream.
So
I'm
there's
just hanging
that.
out with the wily veteran right now.
You know, low key, he is one of the ones that I am most excited to meet when I go out there because I've been able to talk to quite a few people wrestling and like meet a whole bunch, but like haven't talked to Jared Rogers much. So I'm excited to talk to the wily veteran.
You tell him, you say, hey, we got this fun little show on Saturday mornings. You got to come on and talk about how you're making towns.
It's a little sad feeling. I'm a little disappointed, but I definitely understand because it's got to be tough.
Now, is he saying he's going to finish out the dates that he's got? Or is he stopping cold turkey? Because if that's the case, I'm going to be disappointed because he's supposed to come to Warrior in a couple weeks.
I would think that he'll finish up the dates and then carry on.
Okay. His wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Come on, you know the words.
Like the first thing I'll do when I talk to Jared is be like, I'm sorry for that nickname if it offends you at all. And I am legit with that because I think it's incredible. I hope he doesn't hate it.
I hope it was in a term of endearment. Like, dude, you're
is.
so new, but you look like you've been out there doing this so long, and not in a physical sense. In terms of like your in-ring presence, it feels like you've been doing this for a while. So so hopefully, yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
My understanding is that it's immediately because someone posted the card tonight was changed. Oh, I'm not. Listen, I'm gonna just say this. If that's true, because I'm going to the Twitter sphere right now.
Yes, we both are.
Just to see what's going on. I love Warrior Wrestling. I go every chance I get. I would still go regardless, but I never bought a ticket to Warrior so fast when they announced Eddie Kingston on the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be, and I'm kicking myself because I didn't see him when he went. He came at a different down. I had something going on, so I couldn't go to the one. And I was like, well, I can't miss it. So hopefully hopefully he's like, you know what, I'll finish up my Warrior date.
Yeah, he posted up on Instagram. I'll relay the message here. He said, due to being New Japan Strong Openweight and ROH champion, I have come to the hard decision that I will have to stop doing independence, dealing with a lower back injury right now that I need to get fixed and will, so I can be ready for all NJPW shows and all 3 AEW shows. When my responsibilities as champion is over, I will hopefully be able to do independence again. I apologize to all, but I just need to focus and my body needs to be ready for those shows. So, completely understandable.
Definitely understandable. I'm not awing in the sense that I'm mad at him. I'm just disappointed that I don't get to see him wrestle in my hometown.
Yeah,
invite him over to Casa del Plugo for
his jacket.
Yeah, for the Casa del Plugo satin jacket, my world famous steak, and Mrs. Plugo's world famous cookie dough dip.
Mm-hmm. So cookie dough dip. Can't wait to try that when I come stay at Casa del Plugo.
We're more than welcome. McAfee did not take me up on the offer, so he's doing whatever in South Bend right now.
So
Pat McAfee is in my city.
So we were able to preview, run down a couple shows for you. I'm sorry we didn't get to the Black Label Pro show.
We could bang it real quick if you got a few.
There is a lot of matches.
There's a lot of matches.
Yeah. So we will not be able to do it justice. So I do not want to try.
They got a lot of bangers on there. Sunny Kiss and it's a big one taking on Cole Radrick. That'll be fun.
Yeah, there's been a few dropouts, like Matt Mikowski had to drop out due to COVID. So instead of Kevin Koo versus Matt first round, we're getting Kevin Koo versus Dominic Guarini. So violence is forever, 1-on-1. So that is going to be massive.
It's going to rule. It's going to be a good show. Black Label Pro Wrestling. Yeah, but we had, like you said, we had a special guest pop in, Big Ben Ortmans. We couldn't pass up an opportunity to let him come on and promote his stuff. So our normal show got cut a little bit, but that's okay. Guess what? Tomorrow evening, we're going to be back with a special edition. We have our own exclusive news, not even really that exclusive, but we're going to come back with our own special edition of For Exposure, and Big Bad Boris is supposed to join us, and we're going to break down Friday's LPW 19 Speedball Strikes first card and give it proper time to go through all the matches and give our thoughts and get to hear what the Audible Chocolate, the voice of LPW, has to say about all these matches. So that'll be a good time, about at 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's when we're going to do it.
You'll still have time to check out that Prestige show afterwards. You know, we're setting you up.
Yeah, perfect. We're going to lead you into that. You know, whatever. If something big happens, maybe we'll throw that in the mix before we get too deep into LPW, but that should be fun. And maybe some other people will pop in. You never know. You never know. Maybe some of your favorite LPW talent. I don't know.
So I'll do me, you do you, then we'll.
Yeah.
So you can find me up on Twitter at GrainmakerPod. All podcast streaming platforms. Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast just dropped an episode with Lumberjack Larry Woods, and it is basically an hour of us just laughing about stuff. So you could listen there. You could also sign up for the Love Wrestling Patreon and see the video of it all and some other incredible great stuff. So check that out. Check Larry us out weekly here for Exposure.
Yeah.
So it's a great time. So what about yourself?
Well, you'll find me here tomorrow with you at 6 o'clock doing what I just said. Thursday nights to 8 p.m. with JPJ, Between Two Beards. That's always a staple of my life, always a good time. I'm going to do a written preview of LPW. That'll be on the lpw.ca website. That'll come up next week. Be ready for that. And I just dropped the first episode ever of Unplugged on my is it Anchor on my podcast? Go to my page at Pluggo _ on Twitter. You'll see the link. I talked about the releases. I just sat there, riffed by myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, Larry on a podcast was the best, but yeah, so you can find us doing all sorts of fun things. But yeah.
So thank you so much to Ben for joining us today, dropping that huge exclusive Crossbody Pro Wrestling, and Prime is a massive deal. So definitely big things coming for them. So thank you to Ben. For myself, for Pluggo, thank you for joining us. This was For Exposure. You have been consensually exposed. Peace in the streets.